So I'm not gonna waste any time doing a stupid ass intro. If you guys don't want to watch this lengthy video, you guys can just read this tweet right here. It's a summary of today's video. Users deposited money into Gemini Earn to earn yield, then Gemini Earn lent users funds to Genesis Trading, Genesis lent money to DCG, then DCG lent money to Grayscale. It's all gonna make sense if you watch this video, but if you don't, it's fine. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, so let's get straight to it, to the entire timeline that leads to the fiasco that we have today between Gemini, Genesis, and DCG. So, crypto investor DCG reveals web of investments between units. I'm gonna put it right here. Alright, DCG is the parent company of Genesis Trading and Grayscale, and these two companies plays a huge part in today's story, and we'll see why. Crypto conglomerate DCG, Digital Currency Group, used funds it borrowed from its struggling Genesis unit to invest in another subsidiary's products, highlighting the delicate links across billionaire Barry Silbert's empire. DCG told the Financial Times that it used some of the funds to buy an investment product issued by Grayscale. So, to simplify this, DCG borrowed money from Genesis Trading and invest into Grayscale's GBTC, which is an investment vehicle that tracks the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to put it right here. All right? Which operates a US listed trust tracking the price of Bitcoin, which is GBTC. DCG has spent $772 million since March 2021 on open market purchases of units of GBTC, according to US security filings. Some of DCG's purchases were funded by US dollars and by Bitcoin that the group borrowed from Genesis Trading. Okay, and DCG declined to comment on whether the loan from Genesis had been secured by assets such as GBTC. However, it took a turn for the worse. The Grayscale trust units that DCG bought have since dropped sharply in price. So Silbert, which is the CEO of DCG, has injected cash into Genesis after a series of high-profile shocks to the industry this year. One came after Genesis lost $1.1 billion on a loan to collapsed hedge fund Three Arrows Capital, which pledged GBTC as collateral on the loan. DCG took on Genesis liabilities in the process, subsequently owing $1.1 billion to Genesis. Okay, so way before this happened, DCG was under major debt crisis already. All right. So why does this concern Gemini Earn? Basically, Gemini Earn is a staking service that provides to users to stake their crypto and earn. All right, it's basically it's not a staking platform, but they have this kind of investment vehicle for people to stake their crypto. And Gemini Earn actually uses Genesis's fund to pay back to investors. They collaborated on this project. This is the simplified version. All right. So embattled crypto broker Genesis and its parent company DCG owes users of Gemini Earn $900 million. Gemini had used Genesis as its primary lending partner for its high-yield Earn service, which allowed customers to deposit their cryptocurrency in exchange for interest. So this is the in-depth detail of what I just said earlier. The Gemini Earn service has experienced severe disruption since the FTX contagion. As you guys know, FTX fell, a lot of the companies are affected, and obviously DCG, Gemini, and Genesis were affected hard. Okay, Gemini, which Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss founded in 2015, told users it will be pausing withdrawals from Gemini Earn on November 16th last year, 2022, and has yet to provide any clarity as to when they're expected to be reopened. The move came directly after Genesis suspended redemptions for customers and new loans due to abnormal withdrawal requests following the FTX collapse on the same day. So because Genesis suspended redemptions, meaning withdrawals for customers, Gemini is also affected because Gemini borrowed funds from Genesis to pay back customers' investment. Okay, so I hope you guys can follow. All right. So Genesis had exposure to FTX of at least $175 million coming via its derivatives trading business. Okay, so DCG, which also owns prominent crypto-focused investment house Grayscale Capital, owes Genesis $1.7 billion out of its total outstanding debts of $2 billion. Okay, so DCG is currently in a huge major debt trouble. Okay, so that's why Gemini is currently attacking DCG. Okay, you can see in this article right here, Gemini co-founder accuses DCG's Silbert of bad faith stalling in $900 million locked funds dispute. Cameron Winklevoss blasted Silbert in an open letter posted to Twitter, alleging crypto broker Genesis Global Capital and its parent company DCG owe Gemini's clients $900 million. Winklevoss also accused DCG CEO of using $1.675 billion in money and using it for purposes that help other DCG ventures instead of repaying creditors. So earlier, this article right here, all right, we went through how DCG borrowed money to purchase GBTC to keep Grayscale afloat, and it's doing really badly, and now customers are being affected the most, and Genesis owes Gemini $900 million right now. DCG does have 1.1 billion promissory note. Promissory note means it's like a statement. I'm gonna put it right here to indicate the exact amount of money that should be paid back. That is essentially what a promissory note means. Related to liabilities from Genesis related to the Three Arrows Capital default, and in November, Silbert wrote in a note to shareholders that DCG had a roughly $575 million liability to Genesis Global that is due this year in May. Okay, and there's more trouble going on for Gemini this time. 3 Gemini Earn users have filed a request for class action arbitration against Genesis Global Capital and DCG in response to Gemini suspending its Earn redemption program due to Genesis freezing withdrawals. Class action arbitration, so this is the explanation. It is a dispute resolution process where a neutral third-party arbitrator resolves disputes between parties. The claimants, which means the guys that are suing them, allege Genesis has failed to return their and all Gemini Earn users' digital assets as required under the master agreements between the firm and users. They claim Genesis first breached the master agreement when the firm became insolvent in the summer of 2022, but concealed its insolvency from its customers. And they allege Genesis engaged in a sham transaction with its parent company DCG to conceal the insolvency, exchanging the right to collect a $2.3 billion debt owed to Genesis by the now insolvent hedge fund Three Arrows Capital for a promissory note of $1.1 billion due in 2033. There's also a concurrent class action filed against Gemini by investors, which alleges the exchange engaged in the sale of unregistered securities via its Earn program. All right, so this is basically the whole timeline. The story is still unfolding. Okay, so basically DCG is already it's already under a lot of trouble, constantly borrowing funds from Genesis to invest in Grayscale, but then the GBTC price constantly goes down, so it is unable to make back and make profit to pay back its creditors. And now, because Genesis is already under a lot of debt because of the collapse of FTX, they're unable to pay back the $900 million funds that is going to be returned to Gemini's customers. So now Gemini, DCG, and Genesis are under major trouble. Okay, and this is what happened today. Cameron Winklevoss, the founder of Gemini, basically blasted Barry Silbert with an open letter, basically just bashing him, being irresponsible, being a dickhead, everything. And then Barry Silbert replied, DCG did not borrow $1.7 billion from Genesis. DCG has never missed an interest payment to Genesis and is current on all loans outstanding. Next loan maturity is May of 2023. DCG delivered to Genesis and your advisors a proposal on December 29th and has not received any response. So this is how, and this is what Cameron Reply, there you go again. Stop trying to pretend that you and DCG are innocent bystanders and had nothing to do with creating this mess. So how does DCG owe Genesis 1.6 billion if it didn't borrow the money? Right. So, a lot is going on. DCG denies that it has outstanding loans to Genesis, but then where does the debt come from? This is the next question. Will DCG be insolvent and unable to pay back its loans and go down? We'll never know. We'll still have to see what's going to happen and what's going to unfold. So this is the entire timeline, okay, from the Genesis, Gemini, and DCG conundrum. If DCG goes down, the entire cryptocurrency market will tank. It will be complete bloodbath and it will take years to recover. So the news is still unfolding. I'm going to end the video right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'm see you guys in the next video. Peace.